All right, so moving right into Liber Null and Psycho Non. Carroll explains that that there are wide ranges of traditions that he's drawing upon. He connects them all together in a sort of doxology, a sort of a logos, a knowledge or inquiry into doctrine, or sort of genealogy as in like parents and children and whatnot on back and kinship, a genealogy of knowledge. Now look at this figure. You'll note that we've talked about a lot of these groups and traditions throughout the class. This is all familiar to you. Animism, shamanism. There is a soul and spirit everywhere. The shaman is one who can interact with spirits by going into trances and doing healings and magic. Animism and shamanism. Boom. Down to sorcery, down to chaos magic. Out of that also you see Taoist magic in China, tantric magic in India, Zoroastrian or Manichaean magic in Iran, and Egyptian magic from Egypt. Then they cross-fertilize, becoming Hellenic pagan magic, which we study. Now, Abrahamic monotheist magic, that's Jewish magic, and those were actually further connected than you'd think. Moving into the Renaissance, we have Hermetics, Gnosticism, and Kabbalah. Oh crap, we know these words. That also influenced the demons of Goetia, the invocation of angels, angel magic, and Enochian. Look here, Rosicrucians and the Illuminati. The Bavarian Illuminati was a religious group. It did not have anything to do with banking. Then, coming down into our modern era, we have the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn that we've heard about so much. The Zoskia Cultus, who I don't know anything about. Aleister Crowley, modern witchcraft paganism, sorcery outside of witchcraft, and all of that goes into chaos magic. The cool thing about this is chaos magic is synthetic. It takes from everything to say something new, but it does not reduce what it draws upon to be lesser or argue that chaos magic is identical or a better version of these other elements. What are they really into, though? What are they really into? They are interested in eschewing any specific tradition, for their main inspiration is sex and death and the body. So in all of this discussion of the mind, they are always manipulating the mind with the body and in accordance with the body. They use the mind in any helpful way to alter the self and the world, and they alter the mind by altering the body. In fact, there's a whole wide representation about sexuality amongst chaos magicians. They often think of and refer to queering magic, making magic queer, making it comfortably non-normative. Their ideology in general is about magical openness, and that inspires a full endorsement of all non-violent sexuality. And here is Phil Hine, who does chaos magic that he incorporates with a lot of Indian material. You can see Tantra materials in the back. That's a Tantric mandala. You can see the lotus and the triangle. The downturned triangle is the goddess's vagina. So he is very much an out queer man, and he moves away from these notions of required heteronormativity or arguments that magical operations, say the Gnostic Mass, require opposite genders to have things work. He's queering magic. He's making magic queer, which is great. Now, there's a character named Paschal Beverly Randolph. He lived from 1825 to 1875. He died at the age of 49, and I see so much of his work in everything I look at with contemporary magic. Now, he was born, like I said, in 1825, and he was mixed race. His category, his class in that time would be a free Black man. That's the thing, he looks a little like, I think they based Dr. Strange on him a bit. I've always thought he looks like a really good-looking, charming guy. He was a medical doctor, an occultist, and a spiritualist, meaning he did seances and talked to the dead. He had profound influence on the entire trajectory of magic in the West because he created a thing that he called erotic alchemy. It's argued that he may have started the first American chapter of the Rosicrucians, we heard about before, and he died at 49. What was his great innovation? His innovation was that married couples, and he was very clear that this was to be done among married couples. So he was kind of before the free love, libertinism, and whatnot of our modern world. He was very interested in sex magic being done between husbands and wives. He argued that married couples should focus their minds on specific wishes, specific desires, or changes or fulfillments they want to make in the world. And then when they have sex together, they should focus their minds on these changes. Their mutual orgasms at the height of lovemaking will send force into the world directed to make those desires happen. Aleister Crowley borrowed heavily from Randolph. Chaos magicians are borrowing heavily from this idea of using the mind and heightened states of consciousness to alter the world and propel desires. And for my money, it all comes back to this guy, the great Paschal Beverly Randolph, who, in fact, if you listen to the Gnostic Mass, there's a section called the Collect, where they read the names of the saints in the Thelemic Gnostic Church, and one of them is Paschal Beverly Randolph. He's a great dude. Okay, I'll be back.